And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Cheers versus Western Province in the Currie Cup. Sorry about being a bit late. The team's already out. Obviously, quite a quick turnaround from that joke of a match we just watched before. Really, really not happy. I'm in such a foul mood on the back of what we just witnessed in that Lions versus Griquas match. And just, as I said, and I said it a lot in my thing, I think the Lions were really, really bad today. They really were. They didn't deserve to win the game, and they didn't. They deserve to lose, but we cannot have refereeing displays like what we just witnessed from Rasta Wenger. It really was very, very poor. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough at the end of the day. So now we'll have to, and hopefully that this is a chance for this game to just be so much better. Because we can't afford to have games that are so poorly officiated and turn into such bad spectacles. Mone Ferreira, give me something to actually give us a bit of hope about refereeing in South Africa, because I didn't see any of that with Rasta Wenger in the last game. But yeah, so just let's start getting the comments going, stuff like that. Let me know what you thought about if you watched the last game. Let me know what you thought about that game and stuff like that. We'll go through the team stuff like that at the moment. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're backing, what are our thoughts about this game. I think it should be quite an interesting one. I think that obviously you got to back the Western Province. They've got a much sort of stronger squad, even though they've got a lot of youngsters on display today. The Cheetahs still have quite a few players missing, so you got to sort of back the Western Province. I think a couple of players very much on form at the moment. Cheetahs are playing right to left, and it is going to be kickoff. Right, there we go. Timer is on. We've got kickoff. Clayton Blommetjies gets us underway, and it will be Marcel Tennyson with the first touch of the day. Looks like a bit of a brown field there in Bloemfontein. Not too much rainfall in the winter over there. And got him a similar shaping up for his first box kick of the afternoon. Looking for touch. Doesn't find it. It'll land just inside the Cheetahs half for Clayton Blommetjies. Right, Duncan Saul with his first carry gets up to the halfway line. He's going to the left here. Thompson going himself, sneaking a couple, slipping a few tackles, getting himself to the 10-meter. Big ball for Ruan Pino. This time, head down. Solid carry there. Also, let's try and settle into this game, after what's been quite a... Oh, it's fantastic hands here by the Cheetahs. They're down the side. Duncan Saul is over. That's brilliant. Brilliant stuff from the Cheetahs. Well, we saw an early try in the Griquas game, but that is so much better. The quality there from the Cheetahs. The handling there. Duncan Saul, brilliant start from the home side. They get the first try of the match. Fantastic stuff from them. Just the start they would have wanted. It's his first Currie Cup try for Duncan Saul, and he deserves that one. It's the handling here. They go out wide. There's an overlap. And John Rudolph sucks and Sergio Peterson. Ball out for Duncan Saul. He's then got the pace to round him. Sweel goes over. He's unmatched. He pretty much doesn't get touched as Duncan Saul. Brilliant start for the Cheetahs, who, as I said, I think, you probably think the Western Province are the favourites for today. How's the ultimate sharpshooter? You must be getting like 300 subs a day. Yeah, we've got some nice momentum at the moment, which is really cool to see. We've been putting out so much content at the moment. So I hope that everybody's really been enjoying and stuff like that. We've got we'll have the press conference up later for the Griquas and the Lions as well. It's currently going on at the moment, so we'll have that up later. And we've also got Damien Delendi, who's been chatting to the media yesterday. His press conference will be available today at 7. And we'll be live later tonight for our usual weekly show. And then we've got a very, very exciting video dropping on Friday. The launch of the Forever Sports podcast. I had a fantastic guest with me yesterday recording that first episode. Really, really excited for what the podcast will bring in the coming months. Got a couple of things in the work in terms of trying to get some guests and stuff like that. The kick from Ruan Pino goes off to the left. So yeah, keep a lookout for that podcast, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just fantastic handling it from the Cheetahs. One side to the left, all the way down to the right. Duncan Saul had the pace to go all the way. Right, so the restart here from Tim Sweel. Solo by Clayton Blommetjies underneath the high ball. So where's my water bottle? Right, Ruan Pino will go to the box kick. Quite deep. But it's gained enough time. You see, now that's a good box kick. That's something that the Lions weren't doing well. You know, if you're not going to make it contestable, at least it needs to be high enough where your defense can get there and put pressure on the man under the high ball, so they're on the back foot. You can't just kick it deep and allow play. Oh, it's a nice handling there with well read on the defense. The on Lions almost hitting the inside line off Evan Lewis. Right now they're running the hands. Cyril Peterson inside ball to Clubber. He was almost surprised at the sudden space he had in front of him. Quick ball from a similar. Tim Sweel. Oh, inside ball from Tristan Lates. Tristan Lates just burst through. Little dab in the side for John de Jong. That's very well covered there by Cohen Jasper, who's now on the counter-attack. Outside ball. That's a fantastic pick up for Clayton Blommetjies, who then's brought into touch by Tristan Lates. Well, it's an electric start so far. Both teams handling very slick. This is a nice rugby to watch. This is exactly what we sort of needed, I think, after the disaster that we saw in the last game. Some nice handling here. Cohen Jasper there with the good read after the ball inside from Clayton Blommetjies. It's a nice covering tackle from Tristan Lates. Bit of sort of end-to-end stuff there from the game. Early good win there. Jean de Jong with his first carry of the day. Steps away from one. Runs into Jean de Rudolph. Cyril Peterson delaying the pass. Edel van der Merwe now. What is he going to do? Runs straight into Duncan Sol. Nice intensity. Nice pace about the game already. Club with a bit of a standing start is brought down by Junior Pocamela. So nice to see Pocamela back and playing rugby. You know, had a lot of injury issues, so it'll be good to see how he goes today. Ernst van Rijn with his first carry of the day, the Western Province captain. And a penalty for not rolling as the call. So, Western Province, some better sort of time in possession there. They have a chance to kick to the corner. Or they take the points. They're going to end the poll there. And see if everyone's had their chance to vote. So they're going to go for the poll is the call. And I think for the first times ever, actually, since we've been running these polls, we've got a 50-50 split with as many people believing the Cheetahs will win as the Western Province. As you can see, from the 14 votes, 7 going with Cheetahs, 7 going Western Province. So a draw would not surprise anybody who voted. Parlor 2, yeah, I mean that classic song with the Lions, Squirty Ball Naughty Parlor 2. Good times. Good times back at the park. Well, Tim Sweel has missed that, so that's a chance gone begging for the Western Province. He's better than that, Tim Sweel. He's been playing some very, very good rugby of late. Well, the restart is touched there, so everyone's on side. Evan Ruiz goes on his first storming run, but he's nicely met in the tackle, but he's still going. And it's a knock-on there from JD Schickerling. So we'll have our first scrum of the day. So Cheetahs doing everything right at the moment. You know, I've already scored a try. They've got away with the penalty. Nice physical on defense, forcing the knock-on there from JD Schickerling. So it's a nice start here from the home side. I've got a lot of players missing, but, you know, there's one thing you know about the Cheetahs. They will always sort of hit above their weight. Right, first scrum of the day. What will we see here? This will be quite an interesting part of it, actually. I'm interested to see how the Cheetahs front row goes. They stood up here. Very keen to see how Andre Hugo Venter comes on, the West Province hooker. You know, son of Andre Venter, legendary Springbok. Lots of potential, very good ball carrier. Very tenacious. A much better loose trio at the moment for the Cheetahs. You know, Junior Pocamela coming in there adds a lot to this Cheetah side. And Jacques Borgito off the bench. I mean, what a pleasure. Gone down from the Cheetahs. And it's another reset. It's been my life watching reset scrums. Time off is the call. There's been any idea what will happen to the Cheetahs in terms of the competition they'll play, and there's been no word really about what's going to happen. You know, there was rumors that they'll be going to Europe and playing in a competition with a couple of like Spanish teams and Russian teams and I think a couple of Georgian teams and stuff like that. Also rumors that they might be going to the States, but there's been no confirmation of what will happen there. Again, we're going to need to find a competition for them, not only for them. The short-arm penalty there, Cheetahs pushing without the ball. The short-arm penalty, so first blood for the Western Province in terms of scrums. But yeah, no, at this stage, no final confirmation as to what will happen with the Cheetahs. You also need to find they're going to go for another scrum here of the Western Province, which is an interesting call. We've got to also try and find a competition for the Pumas and the Greek, because you also can't just have them playing just Currie Cup every year. Otherwise, they're also not going to be able to improve. Right, so another scrum is the order of the day. Hopefully a better set here. Looks like a much better hit. Simness fed it. Well, neither side giving, so they go to into Cornell Smith with the inside ball, solid run by him. Very exciting players. Cornell Smith did well in the Varsity Cup. Now here you go, Evan Ruiz with his first sort of run of the day. Always looks very busy, does Evan Ruiz. It's a big hit on him. Nice sort of handling there, but it's gone into nobody. Tim Streel because of cleaning up. So it'll piece and getting his hands to the tackle. So it's a knock on into the Cheetahs, who've shown it to the left. They spotted a bit of space over there. And Clayton Blomikis has put it to his left boot. That's a brilliant little touch finder there. Well, he's kicked it in behind. Sorry, it's Cohen Jasper, the man who's actually put in that kick. That's a fantastic little touch find. He's found touch inside the Stormers' half, the Western Province half. Right, so let's see what Andre Hugo Fenter at the front of the lineout. Because the first more from the West Province has gone straight down. And there's a penalty against the Cheetahs. Yeah, sack. I think late sack is the call. Against number 5 from the Cheetahs. So it's against John Droster. Right, so they find territory inside the Cheetahs half of the Western Province. They go to the top. Oh, it's a nice run in there. Shuttle Peterson gets... Oh, that's a very nice pass. He finds Tristan late. Styles brings Edward van der Merwe. Edward van der Merwe gets in Psycho, and Jasper's eventually brought him down. But the Western Province right inside the 22. Oh, that's a bit of a lazy runner there. So it's a sloppy ball there from Western Province. The similar now going to Tim Streel, going to Shuttle Peterson. Peterson inside ball. He actually decides to keep it in the end. Available for Namakava. Tim Streel wasn't expecting that, but off a standing start, will take it up. So it's a bit of backwards momentum there for Western Province. Now Leon Lyons takes it up. On the 22 are the Western Province. Sertal Peterson inside ball to Evan Ruiz. Well read by Jean de Rudolph. Tristan Lates inside of Brandon Thompson, but he's wrapped up. So Western Province starting to find some go forward ball. Yeah, they're being driven back at the moment, so they'll try and go forward through Marcel Tennyson, who steps inside Pocamela. Now going to Streel. Inside once again from Cornell Smith. Streel trying to get around Ruan Pino. He's wrapped up by him. As well as Brits. Now it's JD Schickling. I mean, it's a fantastic defense here by the Cheetahs. I mean, the Western Province are behind the 10-meter line at the moment. They've just gone past it now. Andrew Hugo Fenter pick up and drive. But it's been some really good defense here so far. Now, Jean de Jong trying to pick up and go. And is well read here by Cheetahs, who are not giving an inch at the moment. Right, nothing on, so got him a Simon decides to go to the boot, and it bounces very favorably. Yeah, nice management there from the scrum half. They were really trying to get any front foot ball there with the Western Province, so kicking behind, it's bounced favorably, got into touch, and the Cheetahs will now have a defensive lineup, but really, really impressive defense there from the Cheetahs. Weren't giving an inch there. Driving the Western Province back. Nice line out there, Brandon Thompson now. It's a nice touch finder for Brandon Thompson. Actually, almost gets up to the 10 meter. So Cheetah's doing a lot of things right at the moment, even without a lot of the ball. Defended really well. It's a really nice defensive line there. It's a solid clearance. So the Western Province will have it on the 10 meter line. Let's try and set up something from the set piece. We go to the back of the line. It's a nice take at the back there. I think it's Master Tilson that's gone up. How's it, John Denell? Hope you're well. It's a solid rolling more here from the West Province. It's a bit better. Sidman's got one hand on the ball. Gone on the blind side. Giving it to Tristan Leitch, who's very, very isolated. So under Hugo Fenter's having to do a lot here. Sidman almost taken out. Nice handling there by Netley Bashir. And now McClubber carries it up and past the 22. Turnover's good though. And the Jean Rudolph has burst off the back. The turnover ball here from the Cheetahs. That's really good work from the Cheetahs. Right, and they're looking to run it here. A nice defensive read there by Jean de Jong, putting Cohen Jasper under a lot of pressure. Peyton Blomicki's cleaning up. Ron Pino going back to Brandon Thompson, who's in the pocket. And he'll use his boot to get the Cheetahs out of there. Not as good as the clearance as last time. It only finds the 22 meters. But the Cheetahs are looking pretty good here. Under a lot of pressure in terms of territory, but they're absorbing it well. Ahmad Kleiber was a little bit isolated there and was very quick on the ball, was Aiden Davis, to make that turnover. Fantastic turnover. Then John Rudolph carrying it up there. Trying to run it up. It was a good defensive read by Jean de Jong, but eventually the Cheetahs finally in touch. They're still under a lot of pressure here, the Cheetahs, but so far defense is holding very, very firm. It's not good to see Junior Pokamela once again down. He's just come back from injury as Junior Pokamela. Has had a lot of injury issues in his career so far, so this is the last thing he needs. Kleiber also getting some tape, some running repairs on him as well. Alright, so Andre Hugo Fento goes to Ernst van Rijn. Almost looked like it was a bit of a misread. The Cheetahs were up to contest, but it's been well taken by Ernst van Rijn. They're trying to get him more going, but it's been broken up by the Cheetahs. Available at the back for Masimla. That's solid, more defense. Good hands so far. Good hands. Cross kick here for Sergio Peterson. Looking for some space out wide for Tristan Leitch to run on. Tristan Leitch says, oh, he managed to pick it up and in touch as well. So it will be a Cheetahs put in. John Nelson says, when will Springbok learn you can't play a guy like Chesn Colby on wing? He should play fullback. Him and Corson Speck will be very dangerous back three. I think, to be fair, I think we'll be seeing how important Billy LaRue is from a defensive side in terms of the way he reads the game. So that's probably the thinking there. A long term, I'm not quite sure what we do. Whether we do maybe go to Chesn Colby at the back, or else if you're going to bring, I mean, you've got Warwick Halan, for example, is somebody who'll be coming back as well. It would be an easy sort of way of getting all those sort of players into the team, is to just sort of start to play Colby at fullback, but I don't mind him on the wing. I mean, I've got a lot of time for LaRue in terms of the way he reads the game. We do have to start looking for a long-term long-term replacement. I think on the attack, obviously, those three would be really, really good. But I mean, in terms of the defensively and the way that defensively we work in our organization, that would probably be the only sort of question marks. Another solid win from the Cheetahs. Not the greatest clearance from Brandon Thompson, so they're still under a lot of pressure. In fact, they're still aiming the inside of the 22. So Western Province, with all the possession at the moment, can they try and get something for it, though? Balls at the back with Andrew Hugo Fenter. Still going as the more here. Rudolph trying to get through the middle. Similar has to use it. Spots a bit of a half gap. He's wrapped up well. He's a little bit isolated, but a couple of support eventually comes pick up and go here from the Western Province. They're about 3 meters short. Yet Livashir, who I thought was very good against the British and Irish Lions, carrying it up now. And the Cheetahs have just won that on the ground, but very, very illegally. Once from the Merva just deciding that he reckons he could just go over and win it and and just fall over. So clearly playing on the ball on the ground. We'll go for another line out here. I mean, I'd like to see the possession stats because I reckon it's probably about 95% for the Western Province. Territory is probably also about 90% at the moment. So it's a massive test of the Cheetahs' defense so far. Yeah, possession so far 76%, territory 83%. We pretty much haven't been in the Western Province half at all. Go to the front of the line out there. Tim Sweel now will have to take it up. He wrapped up by Jean Rudolph, so it's a bit of a botched effort from Western Province. I'm not quite sure what the plan was there. Whatever it was, they didn't really sort of execute it particularly well. All right, Masimla goes to JD Schickerling. Now Leon Lyons. Against Van Rijn this time. Pick up and go from Maklaba. He's a little bit isolated. Now, Cornel Smith, what can he do? He falls just before Junior Pakamela, which is a dangerous thing to do. He's a good over the balls, Junior Pakamela. Evan Ruiz, wrapped up by Brandon Thompson. A couple of Cheetahs players trying to turn that ball over for them, but the West Brom still have it. Well, they've got men out wide, but they're choosing not to use them so far, the Western Province. Now Masimla goes. The nice run there by JD Schickerling. Gets the offload away, but he can't hang on, can Tim Sweel. And it's picked up by Clayton Blommekeys and darted over, but it will be a knock-on. So we'll go back for the scrum. So once again, the Western Province, all the chances in the world, but just kind of struggling to break down the Cheetahs' defense. Very good stuff from the Cheetahs so far. Very sort of brave and admirable defending. But they're under so much pressure that they need to get themselves out of here. Three handling errors already from the Western Province, none from the Cheetahs. That's just they just haven't had any possession at this stage. So it will be a Cheetahs put in, but I mean, they're on the 5 meters, so I expect Brandon Thompson to try and boot this as far downfield as possible. But they also wouldn't be unlike the Cheetahs try and run this out of their own try line. Another messy scrum. The scrums have looked really, really bad so far. Right, another recess scrum. What can we actually get something going here? I mean, we've lost a lot of time so far just to the scrums. It's been very, very messy. We've had very little to work with the scrums. Probably had one sort of solid one. And it's gone down once again. And the call is a penalty against the Western Province. Number 2 is the call, so it's against Andre Hugo Fenter, the youngster. So Cheetahs now with a bit of a chance. They'll use Clayton Blommekeys to try and pump the ball up, see how far he can find touch. John and Else says, listen, here's the thing. Colby is solid in defense. Really is not that consistent. You need someone that can spark the attack from behind. That's what Colby can do. Yeah, but I think, you know, they're quite different players, you know, from an individual point of view. Yeah, definitely. Ches and Colby is a much more dangerous player. But in terms of the way you read the game, you know, I think, and also, you know, you kind of use Validaroo as how often does Validaroo operate as a first receiver? That's a horrible lineup, by the way, from the Cheetahs. And the Western Province have gained this, and they're back on the attack here. I think Validaroo's role is quite understated with the box. You know, often operates as that first receiver. But it's his reading of the game that gets him there, really. Oh, that's a horrible pass. Tim Swirls a knock on there. So it's back off Cheetahs. So the Western Province still have it. They're into 22 here from Tim Swirl. Cornell Smith. So okay, trying to be held up there. Pick up and go. Pick up and go. Mossel tends to give within 5 meters. Better from the Western Province. Jean de Jong has left the ball behind. It's a penalty against Junior Pocamela for offside at the breakdown. And the Western Province still can't find any points, but looking a bit, I mean, that doesn't get much closer than that. Oh. I'll go into the back of the line of the Western Province. Henderson's a good take. It's a good take. It's a good maul. Can he get it down? Is there grounding? It's held up. Is the call. Brilliant, brilliant stuff there from the Cheetahs. I didn't see the number for who the man was held up. But that's really, really good work there from the Cheetahs. They're just relentless on defense. I mean, they've gone 22 minutes under the cosh, not giving an inch of the Cheetahs.